It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
Let's talk about number 3, which is forgetting what you know to be true.
Yeah, again, we are emotional creatures. And when things happen that are unexpected, that we're not thinking about, that we're not like really front of mind, it causes us to freak out. We just have sort of like this fight or flight mentality that exists. That's no different with our finances. So when the downturn happens or when the optimism happens, when the euphoria happens, we have to remind ourselves, no, there are some tried and true tenets to building wealth, and I need not forget those lest I take myself off course of my wealth building journey.
So this isn't even that old. We created a new deliverable to go with an awesome show we did called the 10 Commandments of Creating Wealth.
Yep.
And I would encourage everyone go out to moneyguy.com/resources, download this brand new deliverable with all 10 of the commandments. And one of the ones that stands out to me is number 8, which is don't take shortcuts. Because here's the thing, guys. You're going to go through periods, and after you read these 10 commandments, and I want to just prepare you. Whenever we face like volatility, market downturns, bear markets, I want you to pay attention to some key words that you'll hear coming out of talking heads on TV, the financial news media. If you ever hear the word new paradigm.
Ooh,
We've never been here before.
That's a spidey sense.
I smile. I've gotten to the point where it's this is financial mutant territory where I smile when I hear somebody say, well, it's never been like this before. We're in a brand new paradigm. I'm like, oh yeah. God,
Prepare for pie on your face.
It's just one of those things you just, bless their soul. They just bless their heart. And if you're a good Southern person. The other thing that I see recently is, hey, you just can't lose. I mean, forever in 2008, and even before, you'd hear people when they talked about real estate be like, God ain't making any more land.
Can't go down in value.
Can't go down in value. Like famous last words when you speak in absolutes like that.
I feel like if you just scroll through any of our YouTube comments, you will see all this about Bitcoin. You're going to be sorry. If you're not on Bitcoin, you're missing out. It's the only way. It's the future. It's the fill in the blank. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And when people start telling you there's only one answer and it's the absolute answer, and if you're not on it, then you're going to miss out, you should immediately start to be thinking, oh man, who is this person? Where is this source coming from? Is this someone I should be listening to?
And another big thing that I think is so important is cash, the power of cash. I see all over social media right now because it seems like money feels easy between the Bitcoins, the Teslas, and all the things that are pulling your attention right now. I've seen people that I think are very smart, and I see them post on social media, hey, I'm thinking about taking my cash down to $3,000 so I can let every dollar go to work for me. I always know that's so dangerous because what you need is, look, when things get desperate, when it goes bad, I showed you how often bad timing of markets can occur and when those downturns are. You have to understand liquidity in cash is like oxygen.
That's right.
We all take it for granted so much that you can breathe, you can exhale, and you're like, oh, what's the big deal about oxygen? Just go underwater and see how much you appreciate having oxygen. Yep. And it's the same thing with cash and liquidity. Why do you think Warren Buffett always has enough cash to bail out all these companies? Because he gets the best of the best deals. That cash not only, yes, I get it, interest rates are low right now, but cash done appropriately can be tremendously valuable if you are using it appropriately. And it also keeps you from making those desperate emotional decisions that will derail your financial life. Respect the value of having liquidity.
I think one thing that's so interesting about wealth building, and it's actually one of the 10 commandments, is that it's surprisingly simple. It's not incredibly complicated, but it's not always easy. And a lot of times, the not easy comes in different forms. Perhaps not easy is, man, the numbers have just gotten so big, and I've been making good decisions, but man, if I made a boo-boo on $10,000, it's not that big of a deal. But make a boo-boo on $1 million, I'm starting to have a problem. Or maybe not easy as, I've got family commitments, and I have work commitments, and I have community commitments, and I just don't have enough time to be able to put my financial affairs in the forefront. They end up falling on the back burner and staying on the back burner and staying on the back burner. That's one of the things that makes wealth building not easy. Or maybe you just don't know what you don't know. You know, you used to be able to just go to TurboTax and fill out your tax return, no problem. But now you have options and incentives and K-1s and real estate. You have all these different things. You're like, man, when did my financial life get so complicated? One of the things that you can remember is it's not always a bad idea to ask someone to come on and help.
Yeah.
So reach out to a co-pilot to figure out, is there someone who can help me navigate these new things that I'm facing?
Yeah, and graduate and take the relationship to the next level. We always are talking about the abundance cycle because you come here, we just give it away. We load you up with tons of free advice. Yep. We want you to learn, apply, grow. But there will come a day you're going to be successful because everything we do, wealth is surprisingly simple, but so far from easy. But we're going to help you get to that point, cut through the clutter, see through the smoke that the consumer world we live in creates. But you will have that moment of success. And all those things that Bo described, you're going to remember who planted those seeds, who helped start your growth. And we really do hope you can either go to aboundwealth.com or you can go to moneyguy.com. We have a work with us page on every one of those websites. That's how you pay it forward. That's how you pay us back for all the free advice, is because we truly believe that you cannot outgive having an abundance mindset.
Now, I think what's so interesting in the financial world, Brian, is that history has a way of repeating itself. You know, we talk about over-concentration. It happened in the late 90s. You lived and managed through that. And then we saw it happen again, or we're seeing things that might be happening again now. We saw doomsdayers back in the 70s. We've seen doomsdayers in the Great Recession period. We see doomsdayers even now. It's happening over and over again. And oftentimes we forget the things that we know to be true, that living on less than we make makes sense. Saving money for the future makes sense. Covering our risks makes sense. It's easy for history to repeat itself and us to forget those things. But don't you worry, we're going to be your team that's going to help keep that on the forefront. We're going to keep doing the show. We're going to keep preparing deliverables. If you've not gone to our website, go to moneyguy.com/resources. We have a ton of free resources available to you that you can use to take your finances to the next level so that you don't get caught up in whatever the next financial trend is that trips up all your peers and all your coworkers and all your family members. You're going to remember, no, I've got a team in place that's going to help me continue to get on and past that.
I did think of one more ask on the abundance cycle.
Okay.
We have, in addition to work with us, if you go to our website, we also have a careers section.
Oh, good one.
Guys, we're growing. I mean, we've been making some lists. We've been featured in some stuff. We're trying to grow the team. If you watch this, you're a financial mutant who already works in the financial space, go to our website. You owe it to yourself. I think it's one of those things where not only are the best clients from the Money Guy Show, our best employees are also from the Money Guy Show. This is the gift. I think it's providence. I think it's the abundance cycle lived throughout. You too can work at Abound Wealth and we can create prosperity together. I love creating content. We love doing great things for not only our clients, but our employees. We're going to keep coming at you with all this information. I would invite you to go on this journey with us. I'm your host, Brian Preston, Mr. Bo Hansen. Money Guy team, out.